How's...
Oh, yes,
Hey,
what were you
what?
going to say? Come on.
Have you played it yet?
I was just going to say, how's Strictly going?
In more than 20 years in... In more than 20 years in the
I don't
business,
talk about Strictly with pop stars anymore.
they've gone from self-proclaimed generation terrorists to being one of Britain's premier rock bands.
Manic Street Preachers are back with their 11th studio album, and they've described... What are you giggling at? They've described Rewind the Film
That's what we should do, rewind the film.
as
Start
their
again.
quietest and most acoustic work yet. They're going to talk to us about it in just a moment.
Yeah, in a moment. Not yet, in a moment.
Okay.
Just pause. Let's look back at some of their most successful hits.
So, James and Nicky from Manic Street Preachers are here. Good morning to you both.
Good
Now,
morning.
I've just discovered
Morning.
something about you that I'd never... After all these years, that there's no definite article in front of Manic Street Preachers. You're a sort of collective now, rather than... Is that right?
That was
true.
That was your decision, I think.
It was, yeah, because there were so many bands called The at the time.
But you are referred to as the Manics, colloquially.
I'm kind of happy with that now, the way we're just called Manics. It feels nice and comfortable, like, you know, like people are our friends.
Yeah, okay.
Which certainly wasn't at the start.
Yes.
Oh, really?
We were the Preachers at the start.
Yeah,
And now
you
we're
don't
the
like the,
Manics.
don't like the Preachers.
We can delude ourselves that we think that they're our friends.
Yeah, they
No.
are.
This is your 11th album. Do you have trepidation, anticipation about how it's received, or when you look back at all of that, do you just think this is just what we do now?
I think we're always nervous about everything. We are. We're just riven with nerves every time we've ever released a record. And it's never changed. I think, you know, we've always been driven by more of a fear of failure than anything else, really. And that hasn't changed.
You haven't failed though, by any measure, have
We've had
you?
our moments.
We've made some
Have you
bad.
really?
Which
Which ones?
we've made a bad record. One particular
One
bad
particular
one.
one?
Yeah, it
Which
was,
one
yeah.
would you mark out?
I'm not going to name it.
Go on.
Come on.
Well, no,
Just
otherwise
say-
people
No,
will
there's
speculate about which one they think it is.
Well, amongst our fans, they all know that we thought that an album called Lifeblood was a bit of a failure, and we've written some particularly bad songs as well. But if you've been going for 11 albums, it's going to happen.
Yes.
You know?
Well, you have a new one, which is bound to be a rip-roaring success. It has a single on it called Show Me the Wonder. Shall we show you the wonder?
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah,
then.
go for it.
'70s. Is that what that's based? The '70s. What a great decade.
It was. You know, I think history's been rewritten a bit, that all it was strikes and rubbish dumps. But I got to say, in South Wales, it was brilliant. It was just like feral. You
First
just
half-
ran around
first-
enjoying yourself.
Yeah, exactly. You do that sort of thing. Progressive rock first half, punk second half, new wave. Oh, what could be better?
Great films, great
Yeah.
TV, bleak,
Bring it
depressing.
back. That's
Great
what I say.
sideburns.
Indeed,
Yes, they were.
And that video was done in Porth, up in the valleys in Wales, and we tried to source some which we wanted to make it look like the 70s, and we didn't have to try at all. It just like was walking into the 70s, into this working men's club.
I didn't have to try hard at all either, to be honest.
When you've done your songs and you've put the album together, is there a moment when you think, yes, that's worked, that's what we were after, or do you sometimes listen to it and go, that's interesting, that's that's not what we planned at the beginning?
We do have goosebump moments. We had it with Show Me the Wonder when we just looked at each other and thought, this can connect with people, because if it makes us excited, we just think perhaps the wider world might like it too. We do it with those goosebump moments are really important.
Is there a different tone to this album? Because it's said that it's sort of more acoustic and quieter, but it doesn't strike me with that song.
Well, that song, obviously, kind of like, sounds more optimistic in tone, obviously. You know, it sounds more upbeat. But when Nick started giving me lyrics for this record at the start, they were obviously just much more reflective, much more gentle. And there was a sense of mortality in some of the lyrics as well.
Sense of mortality?
Yes, in terms of other people that have been around us in the past, or even ourselves, I don't know.
Sign of
But-
it. You're
Well, we
getting
are
older when you
44.
start thinking about your mortality.
We are 44. We do realise there's a certain little element of folly being a rock and roll band once you get, kind of over 40 perhaps. But anyway, when he was giving me these lyrics, I realised that my electric guitar couldn't fit over the top of them, because it would have just been preposterous for me to just be riffing over the top of these lyrics that that very much were kind of more gentle in their nature.
What do you say, more gentle? There's some songs which are still quite angry and political.
Yeah, one in particular, definitely.
So you still feel the passion politically?
And against the establishment?
Well, sometimes it just feels like there's been an establishment coup. You survey the last 30 years of British politics, and the cover-ups and the kind of espionage and the kind of where we are now. When I look at the front bench, when I'm watching Question Time, and you just think, I can't relate to a single person on there. They have nothing to do with my background, the way I've grown up, the way I'm self-originated and self-made, and I look at them and I just think, we're just living in a country kind of based on privilege.
And so what do you think that's down to? I mean, it's a democratically elected system.
Well, it's down to New Labour being such a shambles by the end and letting them get in. I mean, also we have the most kind of pitiful opposition leader I can remember in my lifetime. And I've seen some good ones and some bad ones.
Other political opinions are also available, we should add. You had enough material, though, here for a double album, actually. You made 2 albums from this one recording session, haven't you?
Yes, we did.
So why did you put out a double album?
I don't think there's the attention span from either an audience or journalists to actually review a double album, and I don't know if we've actually got the attention span to release a double album, learn all the songs, and go out and
Actually,
play them live on a tour.
When a CD comes out with 16 songs on it, but I find you kind of lose interest, unless it's utterly brilliant, which I'm sure yours will be. About 2/3 of the way through.
I mean, you said it, kind of like, the 70s were kind of punctuated by progressive rock going into punk kind of thing, and there was a wide scope of things that people took in, but it feels different now. It feels very different.
Look, there were rumours that Jeremy Clarkson, with his frustration with politics, was going to stand as an MP, so is that an opportunity for you next?
One day.
Why aren't you running
One
for
day.
office? It'll happen, will it?
It'll be a really messed up party, I can tell you.
With the MSP party.
A good one.
Wouldn't it be?
If Clarkson goes into politics, surely he'll cut Wales adrift from his past statements about Wales, kind of thing. So,
OK, thanks very much, guys. I think we'll just leave it there. That's 9:04. The album Rewind the Film's out now, together with Manic Street Preacher's new single, Show Me the Wonder.
Actress Maureen Lipman will be here to calm us all down in just a moment.
She'll be waltzing into the studio, quite literally, probably.
First, here's a quick last look at what's happening where you are. See you in a moment.